I'm very excited about this project and the art. Let's get into some of the art. What do you say? You walk us through.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll try to find something that I didn't share earlier. Now, what's interesting about this stuff is part of the creative process, and we're not completely done. There's some tweaks we're making to certain things, but what I encouraged the creative side to do, I said, look, I want you to go D20 on this. And when I said that, I explained to them what I meant. I mean, for those of you who don't know who don't know what D20 is, it's typically you have to be like a D&D geek to understand 20-sided dice. You roll a dice to see whether you missed or whether you hit or how much damage you did, right? Whether you cast the spell successfully. So I told them, look, I want you to apply D20 to these Runi. We have these Photoshop files full of traits and different heads and different bodies. I'm like, look, I want it so that you completely randomize the head, you completely randomize the body before we even give any of the assets to engineering and they do the smart contract. I want to feel confident that no matter what gets minted, it's going to be freaking awesome. That's what I want. So I had them like experiment, like, hey, completely random generate the head, random generate the body, and then see what pops out at the other side. And if it doesn't look like you'd be happy minting that, if it looks like, I don't know about that one, then back to the drawing board, guys. Then we're going to go back and see what we did wrong. Like what can we do differently? How can we fix this? And so I think we were all very pleasantly surprised that we kept doing it and doing it and doing it. And every single Runi looked cool in a different way. And it was like, yeah, that looks pretty cool. I like that one. Even if, the traits were not legendary, even the more common traits were like, I would be cool with this. This looks nice. So I will give you, some of the output of that experimentation. I'll let you guys share that here. So I'll just drop some at random. Let me see. So
I'm excited.
Yeah, from what you already dropped, I definitely back what you were saying. Like the as different as they were, which is equally amazing, that they just have a very different look. They all looked very awesome as well, like in their own special way.
All right. So I tossed you guys, I don't know, a handful of different ones that were just randomly kind of like outputted.
Awesome. We're going to get Walkingkeys up there on the board. So these are the ones that you showed us during the town hall. We're looking at right now while we're waiting for Walkingkeys to do some tech magic to get those ones you just dropped us on screen. But yeah, these look really cool. Like that one on the left. I'm a big fan of like the smiley faces. I don't know if you see behind me, I have like a Dali type painting, but with those are smiley faces being like stretched there instead of clocks. So like the one on the left here with in the vine or corn maize husk, looks pretty cool to me. Like that as simple and maybe as basic of some of those traits are, that still like really pops to me. And like, I wouldn't even mind if that was my Runi. Walkingkeys really like that one on the right there with the fish.
Yeah, I love that one. I love
like slapping people with a fish. It's funny because that story, our narrative lead Joey wrote the Runi story that got published today, and when he made the pickle like a central point of the story, it was just so funny because I remember internally debating the back and forth pros and cons of, do we include the pickle in the traits? And we kept going back and forth, and clearly, the pickle's been a big hit. So I'm happy to have the pickle.
All right, I'm going to take this off the screen real quick, and then I want to bring it back on in just a second with the new art.
This is an exclusive drop right here at SHQ NFT Gaming and Collectibles. Thank you, Nate, for this exclusive drop.
You need to keep talking just for a second, King.
Yeah. Did I mention it's an exclusive drop?
Yeah. So, while he's working on that, I don't mind sharing some details that you guys probably already know. But for those of you who might be hearing about the project for the first time, There will be a total no more than 6,500 of these in existence ever. Now, out of those 6,500, after doing the math, and the math isn't finally done, but at the last count, there is over 1 billion with a B, over 1 billion different possible variations, and that number is growing every day as our art team tweaks and adds and adds different traits. Or it was like the other day, I was like, hey, can we add this or can we do that? If you have time, that'd be cool. Being head of the creative side has its perks in that I can ask for certain things now and then. I wanted some I think one of the art pieces I shared with you was a Runi that looks very ninja like, and that's one of the things I asked for, is like, you know what, these all look cool, but I want to see one that feels like a little stabby like a ninja guy. There you go. There's the guy. Yeah.
Very cool.
So stuff like that.
I mean, the swords and the daggers, I mean, you're talking about maybe interchanging weapons and stuff like that down the road. I mean, these are gorgeous.
Yeah. That's really, really cool sword on the right. That must be like more of a legendary sword. And then that one on the left may be more of a common sword or a rare sword, but like still like that bowling ball dripping face with no neck and purple fire. I mean, they do all come together in like a very cool but very unique way. Like, it's not like I was telling Walking Keys before you jumped on. It's cool that it's not just like a scar on the face and a different color to make it different. Like all of the other, like, I mean, part of the bad rap I think some of the NFT projects have is that there's nothing really to them. Like, not just utility, but just also design and art. And it's just like, just how quickly can we get something that just barely is above basic? Where you guys just, geez, it looks like each one of these is not even like a random like output. It looks like an artist worked on these for like 10 hours each, it's phenomenal.
You're absolutely right. In fact, when we were looking at that, like when Matt asked for Gener NFT, I was like, okay, we went to the creative side, and I was like, guys, we could do the bare minimum, just like most generative NFT projects do. We can create a body and we could just reskin it. And I'm like, look, I'm really not looking for good enough. I'm really not looking to do what everyone else is doing. That's not what I'm interested in. Splinterlands so far has revolutionized blockchain gaming, and people see that. We have revolutionized the way that people play to earn, the tokenomics of it all. Just for every step of the way, we push the envelope, the boundaries of what's possible. And I don't think this should be any different. I think that, and the creative team really came together, and there was a lot of planning and strategizing and trying to figure out how can we do better than the other projects in making each Runi feel special and unique and cool, and not just a clone of the other one on some assembly line where they all just look the same. And so we came up with the idea of like, well, what if we took all these pieces and they got constructed together around this power source in the middle, this rune enchanted core, and the technical term the Rift Watchers gave it was Runicore, and of course it didn't take very long for it to be nicknamed Runi. So that's kind of like the lore and the story behind the Rift Watchers bringing this technology over, and so with that in mind, and the story speaks well to it. Joey did a great job with that lore story earlier today. And if you guys, stick around and buy a Runi and you finally get to see the lore in the game, then you're going to find out, how that Runi with the pickle got constructed. Because right now we just saw the pieces, and then we saw him show up at the end of the story, but we don't know what happened to create him. Awesome. And that's going to be part of the lore that's in the game for the character once you import him in. But yeah, we looked at that and say, I don't want the head to be the same and the body to be the same. I don't want these to be clones. I want each one to look different. And so we kind of like went through so many different variations of what Runi could be. Like we have this huge digital whiteboard We use Miro for that. It's a platform where we just do digital whiteboarding, and we just came together, and there were just concepts. Like, just the wall was filled with sketches and ideas and thoughts, and how are we going to do this? And I'm very happy with where we finally ended up. It really turned out well, I think.
That one on the left there is very fall festive.
Yeah. The Leaf King.
The leaf, pumpkin looking leaf.
Yeah, and I mean, I really love how all of the accessories, the hat, the weapon, the core, like those types of things are all very unique, but they fit with them all the ones that I've seen so far. They're not odd. Like the arm, even though that's just an arm holding something, like there's no like real arm, it still feels like it's connected to every single one of these that I've seen. And it's pretty amazing, man. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I think even the fact that fist changes with every one, so that there's nothing really repetitive when you look at these. Even the size of the heads are different sizes. But question, what's that? Is that like a lollipop balloon thing?
No, when Matt saw it, he said it's a balloon, but you'll notice it's not a string.
Right.
So it's not a balloon. So when I asked the artist, when I asked the art team, like, what is that supposed to be? Then it's kind of like, what do you want it to be, Nate? So I would say that if you think it's a lollipop, it's a lollipop. If you think it's like a mannequin dummy head, like what you would see in one of those, if you're training, you're
like
training,
a sandbag.
then that's what it is too. But yeah, those are fun.
I'm changing my mind. It's a cake pop.
Oh, cake pop. Yeah, there you go.
I mean, I'm excited just to be able, I hope I get one no matter what, but I want one to be as my profile for the game and everything I do on social to have that. Because I mean, they're some of the coolest things I've seen in that NFT space on Ethereum, just in general.
Yeah, like I mean, I feel like just the artwork in itself might really catch on fire. I know how Matt's focused on getting on those lists for volume and for sales and stuff, but I mean, this is really like quite possibly the best like generative NFT project, like from a design standpoint, probably ever created.
Well, thank you very much. That says a lot. I mean, there's a lot of dumb generative NFT projects out there, but there's also some
great
that have
ones,
a little talent. They have a vision, a cohesive vision that I could respect and I could appreciate. But yeah, we didn't start this project thinking, well, can we at least be that good? We did intend to try to put out something that was better than everything else out there. So whether we accomplish that goal is, we'll let the world decide that. But that was our objective.
I think you did it. I think you and your team did a really amazing job.
Yeah, and the utility is something that is unmatched. Like that is without a doubt top of the industry right now. Being able to use these on a different chain, stake them on Ethereum, use them on Hive, and use them in game to earn crypto. Like that's very unique. Thanks so much for watching. Here's a couple of videos for you to check out. And of course,
hit that like button and that subscribe button right next to it.
We appreciate you all.
We're having a good time.